Coming up in today's video, we delve into my smallest scale yet, 12mm World War II miniatures. These Victrix Limited miniatures are absolutely fantastic and crammed full of detail. If you're wanting to wargame bigger battles but retain some of the detail, this might be the scale for you. Let me know at the end of the video if you find these miniatures as amazing as I do. Okay guys, so this is going to be something completely foreign to me. Now you might be thinking, what do you mean by that? These are World War II figures, that's a T-34 that you can see there, and you would not be wrong. This is foreign to me because these are 12mm miniatures, so my camera is making them look a little bit bigger than what they actually are. These are very, very small. These are from Victrix Limited, and they were sent to me by Steve, who works there. He's requested that I paint some of these up, and I'll be doing tutorials on these throughout the next few months. I'm a little bit scared because they're so small, but I'm sure we'll get some good results. So I want to look at these in more detail. He sent me some Russians and he sent me some British. And my initial impressions from literally just opening up ready to do this video is I'm gobsmacked with the amount of detail that they've crammed into this scale, but I really want to look at this in more detail. So as you can see in this shot, we've got the T-34-76 and the T-34-85. So let's have a look at the 85 in a little bit more detail. Obviously they're going to be very similar, just the turrets are going to be slightly different. So if we pop this turret off, so the first thing you notice is we've got just a bit of plastic there that they can just pop straight in. You could always snip that down and attach your own magnet to it. But yeah, you know, that's common for these sorts of things. That's great. That's easy to work with. So let's just put the turret to one side and let's have a look at the actual tank itself, turretless. So it's really hard to, I'm hoping that my camera's going to pick this up because of how small they are. You can see just with my fingers aren't fat, so the camera's making them look a bit bigger than what they actually are, but I can assure you these are tiny. So if we compare it onto my mat here, each square is a centimeter. So you're looking at 4.5 centimeters in length for this body. The detail is great. These came to me pre-assembled, so you wouldn't get them like this. They would obviously require a little bit of assembly, but there's really not too much to them. Now the fantastic thing about this is this sprue set contains tank riders, storage and decals. So you've really got everything you need to create a really good looking Russian armoured force with those tank riders that we've become so accustomed to seeing in late war pictures, even mid-war pictures, where they just cram them on and just charge into German defensive positions. So that is such a cool trick, and obviously being 12mm, they can probably afford to cram it all on, but to add that all into the vehicle set itself is just fantastic. So we can see the detail is just great. There's plenty of grooves in there, so when we're washing this, it's going to come out really nicely. It's not going to be too difficult to pick out the detail. We can see the NG is formed into the actual vehicle itself. That's obviously going to be because of the size of it. It's just going to snap off, so you really can't tell. That's it's more of a precautionary measure, and I really understand why they've done that. So I think that's a big tick. So yeah, really cool, really tiny. Wow, I really can't get over how small this is, but it's really cool. Then we move on to the turret itself. So obviously it comes with tank commanders, as well as the hatch closed. Plenty of detail. Hopefully my camera's gonna pick this up. Yeah, there we go. So you've got facial features on there. We're talking 12mm here, guys. So this is tiny. It's not 6mm, which is obviously one of the smallest scales you're gonna go, but 12mm just a step up from that. So this is probably the perfect scale just to get enough detail on there that you can see what's going on, but you don't have to go too mad trying to pick out every little bit because it's just so small. So this is going to be an absolute pleasure to paint. I really can't wait to do this. But yeah, very clean, sharp lines with plenty of detail, easy to capture the detail too. You're not going to have to try and pretend that there's detail there when there's not, when we're painting. Yeah, really good. And then we look at the 76. So we take the turret off and we can see we've got a different type of commander here. So it looks like he's waving a flag with the Mickey Mouse hatch open. And yeah, I really love the detail, even the rivets. So they've got the rivets in there. I hope that the camera can pick that up. So the rivets are there. Yeah, really, really good. It's amazing just how much detail they can cram in. Not much cleanup involved as well from what I can make out. Obviously these came pre-assembled, so I can't say for certain, but it looks pretty clean. Just a little bit of plastic needs to be trimmed down there, but that's nothing a Stanley knife won't fix in a matter of seconds. So yeah, looks really good. Really impressed with this so far. So those are the T-34s. Now let's take a look at the SU-76. So you can get the early war and late war version in their set, and it also comes with a winter and summer crew, so that is really cool. Also comes with storage, so you can see that they've added a bit of storage on here. You can see they've got a tow cable running along the middle of the vehicle there. The compartment's got detail in it, it's got ammunition. You can see where they load the ammunition into. Yeah, really full of detail. You could probably trim some of these off and make it give each one its own individual amount of ammunition just to give it a little bit more flavor. Yeah, really good detail. They've even got the holes here, so you don't have to paint them black. That's already pre-cut out for you. Wow. Yeah, as you can tell, I'm really amazed by these. I love small scale miniatures. The smaller they are, the better. I haven't gone to 6mm yet, and that really worries me because I try and get as much detail as I can out of them with the ability, or with my ability. Obviously, there's people that can go even further, but yeah, this is going to be really, really cool. It's going to make for some fantastic large scale battles. And Russians is something I haven't really ever been too phased about, but this scale I think is going to make Russian hordes just absolutely amazing. So yeah, that's really cool. Let's take a quick look at the crew. So this is one of the sets. So I believe these are in summer uniform. So you get an idea of what we're dealing with here. So we've got a chap on the far left he's looking through the periscope. We've got a guy with his ammunition, and then we've got what I would appear to be the commander looking through the binoculars. Then we've got a bit of storage there. So I think that's a bag with a helmet. So yeah, really cool. You wouldn't expect to have all of this included. Like, I get the crew, but the storage as well. I get the crew for the T-34, but not the tank riders. I don't have any tank riders this time around. But yeah, that'll be a future purchase. So yeah, plenty of detail. I mean, look, they've got all the curves and that in the uniforms. It's going to be easy to capture and highlight. Yeah, very impressive. So that's the summer. We'll have a very quick look at the winter crew. So if we move that to one side, we can see that he's got like a greatcoat on and one of those Russian hats that is so iconic. Yeah, very, very impressive. I like that a lot. And here's the other chap that goes with them. So a winter version of the guy looking through the periscope. There he is with one of those hats. Don't know the actual term. I'm sure one of you will correct me, which is perfect. And again, another bit of storage on there. Really nice storage too. Nicely detailed. So they've crammed as much as they can in here, guys. You don't have to go looking for third-party storage. Now let's take a look at some of the infantry. So I'm not going to zoom out. I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way up, just because of how small these are. I'll be zooming out, zooming in to try and get the detail. So you get one full, this left side here, so between the far left and the far right, is one like sprue, if you will, and then it attaches to another one. So this is what you're going to get in terms of individual miniatures with their poses. So you're going to get 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 23, 25 individually sculpted miniatures from what I can make out. So that is a really cool touch. I love a variety in my models. So I think in that actual infantry set you get 188 figures, so obviously there's going to be quite a few that are going to be similar, but the fact that they've accounted for that with 25 different types for just the infantry, this isn't the command stand, this is the infantry stands, yeah, it's really cool. So as we can tell, details all in there. I actually believe this might be a female. She's got really long hair, maybe not, but this will make for a fantastic sniper as well. So yeah, I believe that's a female. Might not be modeled that way, but it actually comes across that way. She's definitely got long hair. But we can see that they've got the PPSH. They've got the PPSH with the stick magazine. They've also got the PPSH in here with the drum magazine somewhere up the top corner here. He's throwing a grenade by the looks of things. So yeah, crammed full of detail, which is what I like to see. We've also got them with the light machine gun. Fantastic. These are going to be awesome to paint. Obviously being Russians, there's going to be hordes of them that are going to need to be painted, so maybe might not get around to painting 188, but certainly get around to paint as many of them as I can. So that's the infantry, and then we look at the command stand. So within the command stand we've got, I'm trying to get my camera to focus, we've got a mortar team. Looks like we've got some sort of communications. We've got the machine gun, both firing and being transported. So again, makes for a really individual looking sculpts and models, sorry. Then we've got the anti-tank rifle that's on the move. We've also got an anti-tank rifle in the firing position. So yeah, really cool. And then if we flick on over, we've got the Russian carrying the flag, commissars, looks like people carrying ammunition, mines, so engineers, some more light mortars, another set of mortars. Yeah, really cool. They really have thought of this. So let's look at the British. So we've got this Lloyd carrier, crammed full of detail. Now, I don't know too much about the Lloyd carrier, in all honesty. I haven't done my research because this is just an initial, my thoughts sort of video. But I can tell that I don't really need to know much to see that they've got all the detail in there. They've got the rivets. Again, some added storage I can tell here. They've got the tools on the front, all the detail in here in the engine compartment. I believe it's the engine compartment back here, and then they're obviously sitting in here. It's just a big old tractor that's got a little bit of armor plating. Yeah, really cool. Looks fantastic. And the bonus is you get this included as well. So if you really want to give your guys some protection from the rain and or sun, if it's a really hot day, you can model them to have their canvas up, and they have their little tarp rolled up so you can peek through and you'll be able to see the crew in there. So yes, they come with crew. So what do the crew look like? They look like this. So they are sitting down having a good old time, as the Brits do. No teas in this one, unfortunately, or cup of teas, but looks close enough. They look pretty relaxed. They're carrying their guns to where they need to go to. So that's fantastic. Really good detail. I'll try and zoom in. Is it going to focus for me? Yep. Hopefully you can make out some of the detail there. So we can see the brown pouches. They've got helmets, the iconic British helmet. You can see that there's a little bit of cleanup that's involved, but it's very minute. They've got the seats sculpted in, so you just have to figure out where they're going in the Lloyd carrier, and then you can just glue them on. Now, they tow guns and other kinds of equipment, so taking that into account, we've got a 6-pounder in the tow form. So we can get the 6-pounder and we can glue it on and we can have him being towed. So it makes for a fantastic piece to simulate that your vehicle's being towed, so being 12mm. There's obviously going to be a lot of turns where you're going to be, or a lot of games where you're going to be moving your models into position before the action starts, which I kind of like. I don't like having action from the initial get-go. I like to sort of get everyone moving and figure out where I'm going to have all my guys, and then we take it from there. So that's really cool. And then we also have the 6-pounder deployed as well. So I've got crew for this, I'll show you that in a minute, but let's take a deeper look at the 6-pounder. If my camera's going to focus, there we go. Yeah, lovely jubbly. That's what we like to see. Lots and lots of detail at such a small scale. And these are hard plastic, so they may be prone to being broken like these barrels, but I say hard plastic, but they seem pretty flexible. Yeah, same with the legs here. They're going to be glued on a base. Let's be honest, they're going to be glued on a base, and unless you're really lucky, that's when you're going to snap them. So I have read that they don't come with bases, so you're going to have to source your own bases. I believe that's because these don't have a specific game or war game in mind. So like they're not for Battle Group or Flames of War or any of those. Sorry, they're not specific to those, so you can use these however you want. So whatever game system you're playing, if you're playing something like bolt action, you can use these for that as well. So you base them around what you're playing. Take that how you will. If you prefer them to have bases, well, you've got everything else. You can't complain too much. But yeah, bases aren't hard to source. So that should be right. I will confirm that, and I'll leave that in the comments once I find out if they definitely don't come with bases, because I just was sent little bits of each box opposed to like a full box set, so I can't tell you exactly, but from what I've read, they don't come with bases. Anyway, so moving on, so we've got the British Lloyd carriers with normal British infantry or crew. Now you can tell, hopefully, that these are the 6-pounder crew. And these crew are actually British Airborne. So they've got the Denison smocks and they are full of detail. So they've got the Bren pouches, he's got some 6-pound ammunition. We've got a commander sort of sitting up but kind of trying to lie down as well. We all try and do that from time to time. In a very relaxed pose, sort of hiding behind something perhaps, or the front plate of the 6-pounder. So yeah, it's really cool. He's got his beret on. You can see the water bottle and the entrenching tool in there. You're probably going to be like, how the hell are you going to paint Denison smocks in 12mm? And I'm going to say to you, I have absolutely no idea, but we will get around to doing it, I'm sure. Then we've got some 6-pounder ammunition crates, and we've actually got some 6-pounder used rounds, which is fantastic. I love making mini dioramas out of my gun teams. So to have spent shells is just fantastic. So all up, I am incredibly impressed with these 12mm Victrix Limited World War II figures. You know, I'm somebody that's probably easily pleased when it comes to most miniatures. There is some miniatures out there that really are lackluster or they lack detail, but these ones are superb. So at 12mm, they're going to be so cool to run around a table. You don't need a huge gaming table. You can have little scenarios, big scenarios. They include everything in them, other than potentially the bases. So if you get yourself an army box set, they're not too expensive. You get yourself an army box set, you're going to be sweet. You get yourself a German and Russian one, you are going to be having a fantastic time without having to go and buy lots of little different things. I know they're looking at increasing the range too, so that's also another benefit to this range, is going to keep growing. So get your weight behind it, guys. Support it if you can, if this is something that you find actually quite interesting and unique and cool. Yeah, definitely look into it. Hopefully my painting videos will sway you if you're on the fence, but yeah, Let me know in the comments if you use these and how you find them, and if you're not using them, if you're intending to potentially get yourself a set of something, let me know what you're looking at. But yeah, definitely looking forward to painting these, and potentially I'll have to get myself some gems. Well, I know I'm going to get myself some gems because these are just too damn cool not to. But other than that, I will catch you guys later, and we'll see you when I paint these. Thanks. Bye.